Hey everybody, and welcome to All Things Fantasy, where we talk about books, games, films, about all things, well, fantasy. I can hear you thinking, Matt, what are you doing here? This is a Sunday. Don't you play games on Friday? And my answer would be, yes. Yes, I do. But I also do Sundays now. So welcome to tonight's game. Tonight we are presenting a wonderful system called Pendragon, published by the same people who have made Call of Cthulhu, Chaosium. We are currently playing Pendragon 6th edition, and we are working our way, well, starting the Great Pendragon campaign, which is a span of 80 or so years from King Uther all the way to the death of King Arthur Pendragon. So, just a little caveat, we are all beginners in this game, so I've picked up the book and read through it a couple of times. So we're going to see how we go. I'm not going to promise perfection. I am definitely not going to promise perfection, but what I will promise is fun for all. For you, my lovely audience, and the players in tonight's game. Talking about the players in tonight's game, how are you going, gentlemen?
All right.
That's great to hear. Tonight, we are joined by Sandpiper. For those who know, Sandpiper who plays on the Rise of the Rune Lords campaign, not just someone knows, as well as a new player, Catterson. We are also not, unfortunately, joined by the incredibly talented Turquoise, as she is currently traveling or resting, but she will be playing with us next week, hopefully, fingers crossed. So, before we go over to our players tonight and let them introduce who they are and who they're playing, I'd like to talk to you, my lovely, dear audience. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. There's a bunch of ways where you can play with us. The first and easiest thing is to pick a plot twist card. But Matt, aren't plot twist cards only for Pathfinder? Well, yes, but no as well. I'm going to trial it tonight to see how it works. So, I'm going to ask for everyone to pick a number from 1 to 51, 1 to 52, 52, 51, 51, and I will draw out a plot twist card. Now, these can either help or hinder the group, and I will be bound to play them. Now, I already have a card backed up, but I'm not sure if I should use it for tonight or next Friday. We'll use it for next Friday, so I won't play that card. But you can pick any other card except for number 27. So we have a number 22 that I'll draw out, which is Fork in the Road. So I'm going to have to play that during tonight, which is great. Unfortunately, we also don't have a Jazz, who is my incredible mod, as she is out on a market. So send all the birds and all the love to Jazz. Now, another way you can be involved in tonight's game is a series of donations. What? Donations, you say? Yes. Yes, I say. Will it work? Because I definitely know my own commands. There we are. For $5, you can give a player a hero point or me a jinx point. This allows the players to do something really cool, or for the enemies to do something really cool. For $10, you can award a player with a critical success. For $20, you can give the party divine healing, and for $30, you can give the player a magic item. So that is all the fun stuff. When I say a magic item, like this is a low magic setting. So when I say a magic item, it'll be an item of importance. So not quite a magic item, but an item of importance. And I'm not sure on that divine healing. I'm gonna have to double check that. I'm sure the party wouldn't mind it, but I don't think it might work. It might go against the sort of game that we're trying to do, so I might have to think on that. But the hero points, the jinx points, and the critical successes, A-okay. So you can definitely do that. Hey Turquoise, welcome. Yes, you absolutely can get some rest. Now, with that out of the way, let us go to our lovely players. We're going to start off with Sandpiper. How are you going tonight?
Very good, thank you.
Now, tell us a little bit about your character for tonight, please. Who are you playing?
I'm playing Squire Serena. She's thinks of herself as being calm and collected in most situations, preferring to examine what's going on around her before acting. unlike some of her compatriots.
Oi! Just because Theodred's reckless. So, that's nice. Squire Serena. Now, how is Squire Serena feeling this year?
Mixed emotions. Last winter, one of her brothers went missing in the woods. Hasn't been seen for weeks.
No, he hasn't, and it is starting to approach spring now, isn't it? So he's been missing for not just a few weeks, but about a month or so. It is very concerning. Next, we also have Thea Nightingale. Welcome. A hero point for each. Wonderful. I'll put those in. And next, we have a relatively new voice. Here at All Things Fantasy, we have Catterson. Welcome to the table, my friend.
You may have my voice, but I doubt you're ever going to get my face.
Welcome. How are you going tonight?
Alright. Bit tired. It's been a hectic week. Just finished off with planning a big event, so yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Very well, my friend. We got a raid from Rock Protector. Hey, Rock, how you doing? I have not seen you in ages, bud. It's good to see you. How are you holding up? Now, how is Nigel? How is Squire Nigel coming into this year? How is he feeling?
He's feeling a little bit elated. His sister just became a lady in waiting for the Earl's wife. So that's a big up and he finally learned the basics of reading.
That's nice. So yes, he has spent. So Squire Nigel has spent. Why are you collecting the whole lot? I just want the one. Thank you. There we go. There we go. A hero point for each one of you. Congratulations. Yes, your sister has indeed, over the winter, been promoted as one of the handmaidens for Lady. I had her name somewhere. He says as he quickly checks additional notes. Earl Roderick's wife. The lady in charge of the city you are in, whose name...
Lady Ellen of Salisbury.
There we go. Lady Ellen of Salisbury. I really should...
My events notes.
Yes, that is correct. So yes, that is very good for your sister. Yes, her name is her name, Rock. So yes, that's really good for your family. Your family must be very proud of your sister. Now, hopefully, you can achieve the same level of status this year.
Yeah, I'll just answer this even though you didn't ask earlier. Tobias is a bit on the paranoid side. Multiple family members has been badly hurt by fire or killed. So he's a bit paranoid there, and he's a little bit of a conspiracy theorist.
Yes. So, what was your knight's name again? What was your character's name?
I am Squire Nigel.
Nigel, wonderful, perfect. Good, I got my notes in order. Wonderful, that's what I like to see. I definitely know what I'm doing. I am absolutely a somewhat professional. Now you know a little bit about the players. We also have Squire Eleanor, who is a who's really interesting. She's the knight that we put together at the start, but she's been taken over by Turquoise. And as you can see, she is very, very just and generous and honest. So she is very much a people person. Now, are you ready for me to set the stage for tonight's game, my friends?
Yeah.
Very good.
We'll see how it goes.
It is spring in 485. During last year, your earldom, or the earldom of your Lord Roderick of Salisbury, has been attacked by Saxons, a vicious army, vicious invasion army that has been slowly taking over England and Britain. They are slowly making their way further and further south, picking up land and destroying and killing everyone in their way. Now, you are squires in the household of Sir Roderick, or Lord Roderick. Your job for the past 14 years was to learn everything you can, to become strong, so you can give glory and find honor as a knight of Salisbury. Each one of your families has a lot riding on you. They have a legacy placed upon you, and you do not wish to disappoint. It is now springtime. It is time for you to get to work after winter. Wherever you are within Salisbury, whether you are staying at your family's manor or staying in the city of Sarum, the centre of Salisbury itself, you have been summoned by your mentor and knight, Sir Amig. This individual here. You have each received a summon. A small page boy has run up to you and gone, "Sorry, sir. Sorry, squire. You've been summoned. Sir Amig wishes to give you your final test."
Thanks for the message. Slayer just gives him a pat on the head.
"Oh, lovely! I've been pat on the head by Squire Serena!" And he runs off, skipping down the street. Now, would you like to see what Sarum looks like, my friends? This is the city that you have trained in. This is your capital city. Now, you have made a home for yourselves here, in the very center, where the Earl makes his court. Now, see this little area space here? This is your training area. This is the place where you have been summoned to. As you gather, Nigel, Serena, Eleanor and Theodred have also been summoned, along with Squire Warren. It seems that you 5 are going to be tested, finally, tested for your knighthood.
Today's the day, isn't it?
Squire Theodred looks over at you, Nigel. "Yeah, about time. It's been like we're waiting forever." Do you remember last year?
Well, I can't let my sisters upstage me too much.
Oh no, could you imagine? Your younger sister being the being the shining example of your family.
Would it be the first time something like that happened?
How are you feeling, Serena?
All right. Just starting to get a little concerned about my brother going missing.
Is he still missing? Damn. I'm sorry. If you had told me earlier, I would have gone out searching.
No, you had your own worries.
Yeah, those Saxons are getting bolder and bolder. I can't believe they came all the way to Durnford.
Yeah.
And after that battle at Mercreed Creek, oh, I was surprised I can hold them off.
They're probably slipping through to try and get to places less defended or ready for them.
Well, if we prove ourselves here, I heard Sir Roderick is planning on heading to the King's Court up in Leicester. Maybe if we become knights, we might be able to... Alright, squires, says a booming voice from the other side of the yard, which cuts off your conversation. Sir Amig. Now, he has been your trainer, and he was recently, last year, he was injured in the battle, in the skirmish of, that's a little bit too big, Matt. Just shrink him a little bit. Just a little bit, shrink it. There we are. Perfect. He was injured last year in a battle, in a skirmish up at Haybrook village. But it looks like his arm has been fully repaired. He is no longer in the sling, and he carries his massive sword over his shoulder, as if it was nothing. Alright, you five, today's the day. We're going to be testing you for knighthood. Now, don't get too excited. Some of you might not even pass. He gives a wry smile at you guys. But, don't fear. After what I saw at Haybrook, you should be more than enough handle these little tests that I've presented for you. Now, I thought the easiest way would be to partner you five up. Squire Warren. He looks over at Squire Warren. Now, Squire Warren, the nephew of the Earl. Let me see if I can show you what he looks like really well. Nope, I cannot. That's okay. He has short cropped hair, and he seems to be already wearing better quality gear than the rest of you. Warren has been tasked with a different matter. The Earl will oversee his knighting personally. Squire Warren! Yes, sir, he replies. Report to the Earl. Sir. He gives each of you a small, smug smile, as he knows that his knighting is automatically guaranteed. Do you wish to do anything at this point in time?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment? No snide comment, no regard?
I would wish you what good luck, boss.
The smile he gives to you, Nigel, is a little bit warmer than he gives to the rest of the group. Theodred, on the other hand, does the whole... Now, Sir Amig continues. The easiest way for us to do this is by pairing you up. Theodred, Eleanor, you're going to be tasked together. I want you working over in this area here. Serena, Nigel, you two will be working together.
Yes, sir.
Now, Eleanor and Theodred, you'll be working backwards. Meanwhile, Serena and Nigel, these are going to be your tests. The first test is we're going to test how good is your horsemanship and your weapon precision. We have a course already set out over here. He points over to where a couple of other squires, not as high as you, have been setting up what appears to be an obstacle course. There appears to be several fences and gates that have been placed up with several targets to go along with it. Your next test is going to be a duel against each other. Don't worry, he says as he notices your worried looks. We'll be using wooden weapons. And the test isn't to beat the crap out of each other. It's also to test your courtesy and as well as your precision. How well you can take a hit and how well you can receive and deal one. The third test is the oath. You'll have to be able to tell me what the knightly code is, as well as pledge yourself wholeheartedly to the Earl. But let us find out if you can even get up to the third test. Head up over, one at a time. You'll go through the course. You'll be given a wooden polearm. You'll be given a wooden lance or spear, you must hit each and every target, as well as make sure that you ride through each obstacle in a timely manner. Do you have any questions?
In terms of hitting targets, does that imply any means appropriate?
No, you'll be given a wooden lance, a wooden spear.
Yeah.
You must break the targets with this spear. As you are well aware, we are horseback warriors. That means most of the carnage we do on the battlefield is on the back of a horse with a polearm. This is to test how well you can fight on horseback. Anything else?
That's all for me, sir.
Very good. Head up over there now. Theodred, Eleanor, you're in the fighting ring over there. He points over to a round circle that's also being set up. Don your armor. I'll be over there shortly. You two, he points over to you, Nigel and Serena, over to the horse obstacle course. Theodred and Eleanor make their way over to the fighting pit, leaving Nigel and Serena, you two, standing by yourselves.
Serena's probably going to make her way over to the horses and where the spears is being kept.
Well, sorry, my mistake. Horse, a single horse.
Okay.
It appears to be a Rouncy. Nigel, you go over there as well?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, the audio was playing up on my end.
Ah, that's okay. That's right, it happens.
Yeah, I had Nigel heads over as well.
Wonderful. Alright, now, how are you going to determine who goes first?
Does
Would you
anyone have
rather
a
go
coin?
Sorry, Nigel, did you also have an idea?
Nigel was asking Selena if she wanted to go first or second.
Up to you.
Well, it's not going to get any better the longer we wait. So
True.
The Nigel reaches up to grabs the wooden lance and jumps onto the horse.
Wonderful. As you jump onto the horse snorts and kind of jumps on her front two legs. It seems that this horse is quite spirited. Which means you'll need to be able to control the horse really well. Alright, Squire Nigel, I've been tasked to count and to see how long it takes for you to get back. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Get set! You see up ahead on a pedestal, Sir Amig, watching you. Go! Alright. I'm gonna need a horsemanship as the horse begins to rear! Roll me horsemanship. What'd you get?
That's a fail.
Alright, the horse rears and begins to take control. So, this is going to mean that the opening scene, the opening of your challenge means that it's going to be slightly more difficult now. So, as you need to go through a series of obstacles, you'll need to go through 3 narrow gates, 3 sharp turns, and 3 jumps. Now, that involves 3 horsemanship checks. As you're riding around, you encounter your first narrow gate.
That's a success.
Now, letting you know that your DC, or your check, has been reduced by 2. So what's your horsemanship to begin with?
That was 10. I rolled a 6. That is under.
Wonderful. So what is the DC you're after now?
It would be an 8. I rolled a 6.
Perfect. Yeah. Just checking on the DC. All right. With a 6, you manage to rein control the horse. You turn the horse around the sharp corners, the sharp turns. Now, up ahead are a series of now in between each of these gates is a target. Can you roll me a spear? As you have to hit each of these. So roll me 3 spears.
And I'm guessing these are, of course, I'm riding a horse. These are all one-handed.
Yes.
This is not going to end well. That's a fail.
That's a miss. Yep. The next one. What we got?
That's also a fail.
Yep. And the next one.
That is another fail.
That's alright. Alright, so you managed to miss the first 3, but that's okay. Your horse is quite spirited. But with your superb control, you managed to keep the horse under control as you get to the quick, narrow gates. Now, these are some tight markers that you have to get through without knocking them over. Can you roll me another horsemanship test?
And this is a normal one?
This is a normal one.
Yep, so I'm looking for a 10.
Oof. So you knock down a couple of the you knock down a couple of the gates, but that's okay. In between each gate is a target. Can you roll me some spear attacks?
For those who are wondering, I'm effectively rolling for a 6.
Yep.
That's a 4, that's a hit.
Hey, you got one.
That's a miss.
That's okay.
That's a hit.
There we go. You managed to get 2 on the second third. Now we're up to the last one. Now these are a series of jumps. You have to make sure you can jump over the hurdles and maintain your balance and composure. Please roll me your last horsemanship, please. Oof.
That's a fail.
As you try to raise up, you actually come out of the saddle at one point. The reins are the only things holding you down. But you manage to land okay. You do not fall off the horse, which is good. That's promising. Now, between each jump, guess what?
A target?
There's a target. Roll me 3 spears.
Fail. Fail. Hit.
Wonderful. Now with that, you pull up beside the squire. The squire has counted to 97. That's not too bad.
I wish I was better at judging distance. I just can't. This is why I prefer daggers.
All right. You get off the horse and you hand it to Serena.
Well, look at the bright side. I doubt you can do much worse than I did.
Don't say that.
Little did they know, Serena is in fact worse than horse riding.
Serena's got to give the horse a quick bit of a pat before climbing onto it.
Yep. Please
and then
don't hurt me.
Yeah, and then pick up her spear.
Wonderful. All right, ready, Squire Serena, and go.
Yep.
All right, you got to go through the 3 sharp turns.
So first roll.
First horsemanship.
That's a 5, so it's under.
Wonderful. All right. That means you will get your spear. Now with this spear, your check increases by 2 because you managed to get the horse under control.
Miss.
Miss.
No. Hit.
Hit.
And a hit.
Nice. Alright, you managed to get the second 2 targets, which is pretty good. And you move around, and you see the 3 narrow gates coming up. And in between each gate is your
targets.
target. Now roll me the horsemanship.
That is a fail.
Alright, you don't get any bonuses.
Miss.
Miss.
Hit.
A hit.
And a miss.
And oh, that's a critical fail.
Fumble! That's a fumble.
That is a critical miss. So as you're riding, on the last one, you actually hit the metal post that's holding onto the spear, and the spear shatters and cracks in half.
Well, just keep using what's left of the spear.
Okay, but you're going to suffer a -4 on your spear checks now.
Okay, is there any additional spears along the track? Or
No, you have given the 1 spear.
Okay,
so
this is going to be
how
all kinds
else
of
are you
fun.
going to do this? How are you going to do this? You see Sir Amig in the distance. He's watching you. His hands crossed and he's stroking his white beard.
Just going to swing the spear, what's left of the spear.
Okay, then we're using hafted.
Yep.
All right. The last 3 are the jumps. Roll me your horsemanship.
Okay, that's a fail.
All right, you don't get any penalties. Now you're using your one-handed hafted skill to hit the remaining 3 targets.
Yep. That's a miss.
A miss.
Hit.
A hit.
And a miss.
And a miss. All right. You finish up turning the horse back to the squire who's holding it. You also hold the remaining bit of the spear.
Yep. She's probably going to hand what's left of the spear off so that she's not hurting the horse when she's getting off it.
Yep.
And sorry about the spear.
The squire shrugs. It's a training spear, squire. It's a training spear. You two now have a moment to chat. As it looks like Squire Theodred and Squire Eleanor are currently battling it out. You can see that they are both covered in old plated armor that has been bashed and dented, and it looks like they're using wooden swords as they try to hit marked targets on each other's body. The targets include the head, the chest, the 2 outer legs, and the arms. And they seem to be trying to hit each one before the other. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. I'm going to roll your time. Serena?
Yep.
59 seconds. Not bad. All right.
At least I had better luck controlling the horse.
Yeah, exactly.
I say while looking at the other squire carrying the spear.
Sorry? What did you say?
I just said you at least had better luck. Look, as the squire was walking past, I said this.
Yeah. Well, the horse is supposed to be spirited, I'm afraid. That's the test. Because, oh no! The horse has begun to run, dragging the squire behind him. The squire's trying to hold on, but the horse proves far too powerful, as the horse literally sprints back to its stable.
You're okay?
He calls out.
He'll be fine.
I rush up to the squire to see if he's injured.
The squire's gone back to the stable. The horse is literally dragging him, but he looked to be okay. He was trying everything he can to just try to stay on his feet. Alright, now it looks like it's your turn. As Theodred and Eleanor leave the fighting pit and de-armor, it looks like it's to be your turn. Now, you have set up yourselves in armor, you have set your knights up in armor hundreds, thousands of times. So it takes you no time at all to put this dinted armor on. You are each given a wooden stick to act as a sword. Sir Amig makes his way over to you. He pats Eleanor and Theodred on the shoulder as they walk past towards the riding challenge, where another squire is bringing out an equally bad-tempered horse. Alright, this challenge is relatively straightforward. Sir Amig begins. Your goal is to spar each other. You are to hit the targets on each other's armor before the other squire can do so. Now, these are blunted weapons, so they're not going to hurt, but you have to be accurate in your strikes. I'll be watching the whole time. Do you have any questions, you two?
If any of the sticks break in half, are allowed to use it as a dagger.
I mean, this is a test for your sword skills. Sorry. This is to test your swordsmanship. Most of the time, daggers are a useful tool out on the battlefield, but sometimes you have to get the knight to the ground first, before you can pull out your dagger and finish them. Well, not that you'll be finishing knights, of course, you'll be taking them for ransom, but those Saxon dogs you can finish with a knife. But, to be able to wield a sword, that is a requirement of knighthood.
I'm aware of that. I was just throwing up a hypothetical.
He nods and pats you on the shoulder. Maybe later you can impress us with your dagger skills, young squire. But for now, are you two ready to enter the pit?
Well, appears so.
I grab my stick two-handed and I give a nod at Selena.
You both enter the fighting pit. You stand on opposite sides. The sand, you can feel the sand underneath your boots as you prepare to battle. Is there anything you wish to do beforehand?
Slane's going to test the weight of the training stick. So gauge its weight.
It's usable.
Yep.
It has a similar weight to a sword.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm just comparing how it feels one-handed versus two-handed.
Yeah. Two-handed gives you a little bit more power and control.
Yeah, he sticks to.
And you might want to wield it in two hands as you're not being given a shield.
Yep. I grip it. You might. There's actually a reason why I'm specifically asking for how many hands I'm using, but I'm not going to explain why.
So, is there anything you wish to do before you start battling?
I'm assuming you put the armor on already.
Yep.
Just test out the weight of the sword, gauge where it's balanced.
Yeah.
And Selena's pretty much ready.
I guess I just asked one question. One practice swing at each other before we truly get into it.
On the field of battle, will the Saxon give you a practice swing?
Nope. Like again?
Neither will I, says Serena as she charges. Is that how you like to respond, Serena?
That's a whole response to the practice swing.
Yeah. All right. If that's the case, as you both are fighting, let us do some combat. Now, this is a player versus player combat, but fortunately you are wearing armor and these are blunted weapons, so they will do half damage of your normal sword. You guys have swords on your character sheet. Not Nigel. Let me fix that. Weapons, melee, sword. Perfect. Alright. The swords will do half damage, but remember, you're aiming for targets. The targets being head, chest, stomach, outer legs. So we got head, chest, stomach, outer legs.
Head, chest, stomach, outer legs.
Yep, and the first person to hit all 5 of those targets technically wins the bout.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, if that's the case, can both of you roll me your battle checks? This will be determining your effectively initiative in this case.
Mm-hmm.
8, that's a pass.
Well, you're going to win no matter what, even if I did pass.
Alright, Serena, you're charging first. Alright, now. Oh wait, nope, sorry. I'm in the wrong system. Okay. How combat works in Pendragon is that everything takes place at the same time. I just need to ask what you are doing. So how would the two of you like to proceed in this battle? Serena, I'm going to ask you first. What is your action?
She's going to probably first swing low and hit the leg.
Okay. Nigel, what is your action?
I see him moving towards my leg. I try to slightly sidestep while I aim for her chest.
Okay. So we got one person aiming for leg, the other person aiming for chest. Now. Can both of you please roll me your sword skill?
That's a pass on 5.
Yep.
And a pass on 6.
Well, unfortunately, Serena, you manage to go first. You manage to hit first. He says as he scrambles through books. Because I know what I'm doing.
This is a partial success on my end.
Yes, this is a partial success. I just gotta double check to see what a partial success does. Okay. Okay. So, Serena, as you strike, you get a clean strike on the leg you were aiming for. Now, can you please roll me the damage?
Okay, and so a 12 halves would be 6.
No, sorry. First, does a 12 beat your knockdown?
It matches.
Oh, okay. So then it's going to be half damage. Please roll me half damage. Actually, no, don't roll me the damage at all, because you don't feel it because you're wearing pretty heavy weighted armor. As you hit the leg, there's a sizable ding on the leg, which indicates a hit.
And why was it 5d6s when it shouldn't be 4, not 5?
Serena has buffed strength, I think.
Yeah, strength 14.
My strength is also 14.
I
Could be the
will
difference of
figure
swords.
that out later. Let me see. Why are you doing that and that? Size 14. Serena is strength 14. I'll play around with that and see what the issue is in that. Give me a minute, please, my friends. Where is that coming from? Additional d6. No, that's not where it is. Sword, melee, mounted, both, damage, character, yes. What is your... Why are you doing 4d6s, Nigel?
Yeah, one's 5, one's 4.
Why are you doing that much damage? Oh, that's good. It allows me to double check the rules quickly. Damage calculator. Let me see. How's this done? I want to go to character creation in the core rulebook. I want to go to characteristics, strength, to most combat actions, weapon damage, and brawling on page 48. Now, the thing with Pendragon, my friends, is that these are only half the rules. Pathfinder 2nd edition, these are only half the rules. Weapon damage. Weapon damage equals strength plus size divided by 2. So strength, 14 plus size, 14 plus 12 compared to 14 plus 14. So Serena has more size than you do, Nigel.
And that gives her an additional d6.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for that. It's good to double check things every now and again. All right, where was I? Ah, yes. Serena managed to get the first blow. The armor dings, and you can feel it on your thigh, Nigel. How do you wish to respond?
So we're not. So this is just explain how the partial hit success does, or
partial success means you just basically just lets it happen. So partial success. You will take damage, and your armor plus shield, parry protection, etc., etc.
okay, right. Partial success just means I can use my shield on like a fail when I can't.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Alright. So now, you've been hit, you've been struck. How do you wish to respond? As we go into round 2.
Good hits. That's literally not.
Yep, but did you want to hit them back?
All right. Yeah, of course I am. I try to follow through with the strike that just fell short.
Okay. So where would you like to strike Serena?
I guess, like I said, I'm following through would be towards the chest again.
Nice. Meanwhile, Serena, what do you wish to do?
Probably in this case, she's going to be defensive.
Oh.
And try and block.
Oh, so you're just going to play defensive?
Actually, she's going to try and sweep the other leg, like sidestep and swing to the other leg.
Sweep the other leg, Johnny!
So what was my wound in that case, actually?
No wound.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't actually take any damage. Okay.
Nah, no damage.
Yeah, just making sure.
Because this is basically sword Tiggy. Yeah. The idea is to touch them before they touch you. Alright. So you wish to strike the other leg? Sweep the other leg!
Yep.
Nice. Alright, both of you roll me sword attacks.
Okay,
so we got an 8 for Nigel and a 3 for Serena. It looks like Serena, as you try to sweep the leg, Nigel lifts his leg and taps you on the chest. Now, let's see if it's an actual hit. Can you please roll me your damage, Nigel? And what was your knockdown, Serena?
Knockdown 14.
You feel a pretty sizable hit on your chest. Looks like you're 1 for 1 now.
Mm-hmm.
We go on to round 3. What do you wish to do? Serena.
She's going to switch things up, and instead of going for a failed, for a far up on the leg, she's going to try and swing around and go for the head.
Alright, you're going to go with a backhand to the head. Nigel.
I think in my case, best going for the chest, I quickly lower my aim to go for the stomach.
Nice. Alright, roll me your attacks.
I believe that is a critical hit for me.
A critical hit for Serena?
Yeah, 13-13.
Oof. That is indeed a critical hit, Serena. That's an automatic hit. Let me double check.
Automatic check, it's considered that I failed.
Yeah. Alright. There's so many rules in this game, guys. There we are. Alright.
She adds 2 d6s to a roll.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I'm just reading this right. So critical roll.
Alright, roll the damage.
Yep, and it's alt and then click. 25.
That beats your knockdown.
That doubles it.
Wonderful. That means, Serena, as you strike for the head, as you strike down, you're also getting the chest as well.
Okay.
Alright, that makes Serena in front by 2. As we go into round 4. Nigel, what's your plan?
Nigel kind of just glares upwards at Serena while he spits a bit of blood from his mouth. Going. So that's how you're gonna play, huh? A little bit. He's a little bit upset, and gonna aim a little bit recklessly towards the chest.
Oh, you're aiming recklessly?
A little bit.
Recklessly. Okay. Alright, you're throwing yourself into this strike. You will get a -2 on your knockdown in this case. Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
But you will get a +2 onto your sword strike.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, and also, can you take your reckless as well, please?
Right.
Meanwhile, Serena?
Seeing this reckless ring, she's going to take the more cautious approach and go for a deflection.
Alright, so you're going to go defend.
Yeah.
That negates us.
It does. So that means... That means you're both going to be... That means... Okay, if that's the case, can you do a roll?
Yep.
9 is a success. Serena, you don't roll.
Okay.
Alright. With a 9, now you roll your... Sorry, I'm just trying to figure this out. Alright. Serena?
Basically, it was negated and we both normal attacked. Because one was reckless, the other was defense.
Yeah, I think that's the case as well. Alright. If that's the case, Serena, do you mind if I use that 1?
Yep.
Okay. If that's the case, Cattinson, you're able to get your strike off. Even though you see Nigel rushing at you and you try to deflect his blade. You unfortunately deflect it towards yourself. Can you roll me your damage, Nigel?
That's a 13.
Does a 13 beat your knockdown?
No, it does not.
Okay. So what happens is that as you try to make your hit, it doesn't quite hit the target, Nigel. Now, as we go into round 5, Sir Amig calls out, "Alright, that's enough. I've seen what I wanted to see. Swords down."
Selena takes her sword to rest.
Squire Nigel?
Yeah, I put my sword to the side, wipe them out, and give myself a little flick to the forehead. Nigel, what you're doing that was stupid.
Sir Amig looks at the pair of you. His stony expression cannot be, you can't determine what he's feeling as he stares the two of you. His stony expression, weathered with age, glares at the both of you. You're kind of reminded back when you were children. I have seen all I needed to see. Congratulations, you pass on to the final challenge. The final challenge is to serve at the Earl's court, at the Earl's feast tonight. You'll be serving at his table. Afterwards, if you prove yourselves and Sir Roderick agrees, then and only then shall you be knighted. For now, rest up. Give yourselves a bath. Come back in 2 hours' time to prepare. You are dismissed, squires. He turns around and heads back into the fort. Theodred and Eleanor join you at this point in time as well. They are both very, very exhausted.
I looked at Selena and I go, "That was a very good hit. If this was an actual comeback, my head may very well split open."
By the way, how is your head anyway?
Yeah, Nigel is kind of stumbling a bit.
Yeah. Sorry, I sometimes misjudge my strength.
Yeah, sorry about going so far, throwing so much weight into one of my hits too. It's just, is it just, okay, I think I need to get an ice pack or something because it kind of looks like you have a third eye.
Alright. You make your way to the rooms. You make your way to the visitors' quarters where you can find some rest and respite for a couple of hours. As it approaches mid-afternoon, your duty is to head back to the fort and prepare for the feast tonight. Now, your job's to serve on the feast on the Lord's table, which is a very prestigious area. It is where Lord Roderick, his wife Lady Ellen, and important members of his council sit and enjoy their dinner. Now, as you are serving, your jobs are to make sure that empty plates are removed. You are to pour drinks and provide some level of company to those who are on the council. You are aware that Sir Amic himself sits at that council as well.
I am not looking forward to this. Not only is my knighthood on the line here, Jane would never let me live it down if I mess up here.
So, as you approach, how are you feeling? What are you up to?
Selena's probably a bit nervous.
Yep.
So she's probably trying to hide her nervousness a bit.
Okay. As you're preparing for the feast, you're dressed in finery that is both. You're dressed in finery that is like a light blue and gold, like an azure and gold, which are the colors of Sir Roderick, Lord Roderick, however. Can both you roll me an intrigue, please? As you're getting dressed, you might be able to hear some of the stuff the good Serena.
Yep, that's a success.
Yep.
I'm probably gonna fail. Yep, that's a fail.
That's okay. As you're getting dressed, you can hear a conversation between two of the serving women. Are you ready?
Yep.
Let me get my good old voice working. There we are. It's so terrible. I heard that 1,000 Saxons landed to reinforce King Hengist. He's the devil's son, that's for sure. I'll trust Prince Maddox to take care of us. He's handsome enough, and he talks boldly enough. But the truth will depend on how he fears in battle, I'm afraid. Well, I say it's too bad he is illegitimate. No bastard will automatically inherit. It'll be difficult, you can be sure, unless his glory is truly great when the old king dies. Now listen, darlings, it'll take something monstrous to get rid of King Uther. How tough is he? Oh, yes. Anyway, Maddox will have to be waiting a long time for any inheritance. But don't you think it's bad luck to talk that way? Say, did you know that Merlin has gone away? Well, darling, he comes and goes as he please. Yes, but he's gone again. Such a difficult time for us. That is the conversation you overhear.
Interesting nuggets of information.
Yes. Very interesting, huh?
Never listen to one's government unless you have a real proof as it's true. Otherwise, you're just as bad as the gospel.
And these are servants in the Earl's hall, so you don't know if they're true or not.
Yeah, depends who they overheard speaking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, as you prepare, sorry.
I was gonna say, for now, it's just best to ignore that.
Now, as you prepare for the feast, Sir Amig makes his way up to you before you do so. Before the feast begins, he looks at the four of you. Noticeably, Squire Warren is not here. Now, as I said, this is your final test, my young squires. It's important that you behave with courtesy. Be aware, what happens tonight affects your future. If you play your cards right, you will be knighted. As your final challenge, do you have any questions?
The only one I just got to ask, is Jane also going to be in there?
He gives you a smile. Of course she is, but she's not at the high table.
I take it Squire Warwick's not joining us?
Squire Warwick, Squire Warwick, well, you know how he is. He is actually sitting on the high table tonight.
Yep.
Theodred, your task is to serve him specifically. What? Me? Amig looks down at him. Know your place, Squire Theodred.
Well, what's my job then? Because that's usually mine.
No. Tonight I want Theodred and Warren to hash it out. Diplomatically, Theodred. There is no use fighting inside the Earl's court. Nigel, Eleanor, and Serena. You'll be Nigel and Serena. You'll be serving the Earl Roderick and the lady themselves. Serena, You'll be serving me and the chaplain, as well as anyone else on lower end of the high table.
Very good.
Any questions?
That's all for me.
Very well. Feast will be starting shortly. You know your jobs. You know your responsibilities. He gives you each a pat on the shoulder, glares down Theodred, and makes his way into the dining hall. This is crap, Theodred says.
How it's been told to me, it's like a cake, except each layer of the cake is just more crap.
You haven't
Until
had
you get to the top.
You haven't
And
had
then-
Sorry, Serena.
Until you get to the top, and then you're taking nobody's crap. Everyone else is taking your crap.
Yeah, I guess. I only have to play nice for one night, don't I? Just one night.
You want my advice of dealing with him?
Yeah, you know I'm better than the rest of us.
My advice is just to act a little dumber than you actually are. If he doesn't see you as a threat, he will ignore you.
I guess. Fine. But I'm sparring him tomorrow. I call dibs. At that, Theodred turns around, straightens up his back, puts on quite a pleasant smile, and walks out into the dining room. Eleanor follows. What do the two of you do?
Follow behind after quickly checking Selena's self over for anything that's out of place.
Wonderful. Serena, you can roll me an awareness check. Nigel, what do you wish to do?
That's not a success.
You don't see anything out of place.
Yep.
Nigel?
I guess Nigel just gives him a quack right over as a head. He just repeats as a mantra, act like Jane.
There we are. I got a picture of Sir Roderick. Lord Roderick. Here we go. That is Lord Roderick. That is who you were serving tonight. Alright. Now, feasts are a relatively big thing in medieval culture. This feast is a relatively small affair, as it only consists of members of the household. Sir Roderick, Lady Ella, their child daughter, as well as one or two other members on the high table, with the rest of the household on the long table that runs down the entire length. Your job and responsibility is to serve at the high table. Now, as you serve, we're going to break this up into 3 parts, 3 hours, okay? On the first hour, the first feast, the first meal, or the first serving of food, which appears to be a nice delicacy of swan, stuffed swan. Now, your responsibility, Serena and Nigel, is to slice up the swan in front of the Earl and serve it to them. Out of the two of you, which one of you has good dagger skills?
if it's you working with a dagger, fighting with a dagger, Nigel's actually pretty good. Using it for cutting, he's about average. If I'm thinking of hunting skills, and wait, what skill are we talking about here?
Dagger.
So brawl.
Brawling. Yeah.
Yeah, Nigel is struggling to find a better teacher to teach him daggering.
If that's the case, Nigel, would you like to slice up the swan, please?
Yep. Yep. So I'm just rolling a dagger check.
Yes, please.
Yep. Gripping it one-handed. Here we go. Yeah, that's a fail.
Alright. You unfortunately cause a little bit of a mess. You're used to stabbing, practicing on dummies, not necessarily practicing it on animals. Now, you do make a little bit of mess as the Earl watches you. However, it's not a critical success. It's not a critical fail. So it is manageable, but it's not the best work you've done. You don't know where to put all the feathers. So you kind of heap them up around the around the swan itself. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Earl's and Lady's drink is empty. Serena?
Selena makes her best effort to fill those drinks.
Now, what drinks do they serve here? Or what drinks do you wish to give them?
What are the choices?
Well, I would require a courtesy check to know which drink would go best with this swan.
That's a critical fail.
You believe beer is the right answer. It works for you.
She's never actually had swan before.
No, you have not. But beer goes with everything, doesn't it?
When all else fails, beer.
Alright. You quickly go out the back because they don't have any tankards in front of the Earl. They're all wine glasses. That's not what you want. You want a good sized tankard. So you go out into the kitchen and you get some cool ale and you bring that out to the Lord and Lady of the house. They look at each other and then look down at the beer.
Do I see any of this happening?
No, sorry. You are currently trying to slash open a swan. It's taking your full attention. Yep. Squire Serena, the Earl begins. Are you sure about this?
I'm honestly not sure what pairs well with swan.
Well, it is definitely not beer. You have been embarrassed in front of your liege. I want you to tick courtesy.
Yep, so the passions
courtesy is a skill.
Yep. So I want you to tick courtesy as you have been embarrassed in front of your lord. The lord and lady pass the tankards down to more appropriate people and then call over Squire Eleanor to get them some white wine. You will get all your skills will increase, as in all of the DCs for your skills will decrease by 1 for the rest of the feast.
That's not good.
Round 2. We are now approaching the second course. Now, the second course is the main meal. During this, they bring out a vegetable medley with seasoned roast pork. I will, during this time, right, it appears that the nobles, Roderick and Ellen, they are talking to each other and sipping their drinks and talking with the other people. Squires, over here, says an individual as you recognize as Father Mallory, the chaplain here.
As we walk up, I give a slight nod towards the chaplain.
Yeah, same.
You see, I have... Oh, excuse me. You see, this is rather embarrassing. You see, I do not eat meat. However, it would be a real hassle to me if I could not finish the meat on my plate. What would you recommend?
Perhaps charity and
So I should donate this meat to charity, should I?
Seems right to my ear. For those who cannot be here in this to partake in this banquet and are in need of alms.
Am I allowed? I know it probably won't succeed, but like this will be metagaming if I just speak from knowledge. Am I allowed to make a religion check?
Yes, you can roll me a religion check.
Because I know an answer here, but that's me as Caddison, not as Nigel. That's a failure.
Okay. Very well.
Which means I can't act on my knowledge.
That's okay. This is a fork in the road. Now, to whom, the chaplain says, Father Mallory continues, to whom should this meat go to? Those who have the plague, those who are homeless, or those with families?
Those who are less fortunate with families, if possible, evenly divided amongst all.
But this small chunk of meat in front of me, he says, playing with the meat in front of him with his knife. How many would that feed, though?
In this regard, the ones with plague would have to survive first. The ones with families are more likely to have a stable income enough to start a family in the first place. The ones that are the least fortunate that we can actually help would be the homeless.
That's an interesting argument you place. Serena? Squire Serena, what say you? It is interesting. Though those with families might have fallen upon hard times, possibly because of recent events, might have been rendered homeless or destitute.
You both have very good answers. Thank you for sharing with me.
And thank you for your wisdom.
I give a slight bow. Well,
yes.
Selena says this.
Yeah.
That introduction was that thing was brought to you by Fork in the Road, a moral quandary for the party to investigate. Now with that, we come up to the last and final course. It appears to be a sweet pastries made of filled with stewed apple. Now, as Lady Ellen was enjoying the pastry, a large, thick gobble of apple fell directly into her lap. Both of you see this happen, but you don't think anyone else has noticed yet. If it found out that she had something in her lap when she stood up, it would be quite embarrassing to the Earl's wife.
Okay.
How would you like to approach the situation?
I kind of just lean to Glenn and go, how subtle are you?
Wait. You say that to this? You say that to Lady Ellen?
No, Squire Selena.
Oh, okay.
I said Selena to begin with.
All right, good answer. Good answer.
Oh, I'm not that dumb.
Come up to the Earl's wife. Subtle. Save that for later, I.
No. I said at the beginning. I leaned to Selena and asked, "How subtle are you?"
Yeah.
Probably about as subtle as you are. Perhaps we could. There could be a possible reason for us to render aid to it. That does not give away the reason why we're actually giving aid. How willing are you to drop a fork? Oh, I'm sorry, forks invented. No. How willing are you to drop a spoon?
Do you say that to Nigel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, dropping something would mean that the attention would be on you momentarily, Nigel. Which is not what great services are about.
Well, the other one option is
Either I embarrass myself, or I'll let the lady who's helped my family get embarrassed. Nigel kind of just takes a sigh. I look towards Selena and I go, don't muck this up.
I will try not to.
The next, rather than dropping a spoon, because that would not be too much of a distraction, the next time Nigel was walking around carrying a drip, he makes himself stumble backwards and have the drink pour onto him.
Oh no! Alright, Nigel spills the drink all over himself as a small platter of drinks land on top of him. Now, Nigel, I understand where you're coming from this, so can you please tick your passion homage to, please?
Homage to...
Yep. To
homage.
Sir Roderick, as you wish to protect the house over yourself. As you do so, can you also tick your
deceit?
No, not deceit. Your What's a good skill? Not what's your trait for that? Let's go modest.
Okay.
You can take your modest, please. As you spill drinks all over yourself, a lot of the members of the court turn towards you. This is your time.
Yep. Celine's just got to quickly make her way over to the lady and just like here and help her clean up the dropped bit of apple of herself.
Perfect.
Whilst everyone's distracted.
You quickly get rid of the glob of cooked apple sauce, and you but you still see like a small stain on her dress. She's wearing a blue dress, by the way.
Yeah, so she's probably wiping it down a little bit to try and minimise the stain.
Yep.
Trying to think if I've got a big way to get rid of this. And probably also trying to think of ways to get rid of stain or cover them up.
You could use a cloth.
Yep.
You could perhaps get another skirt or something to go over the top.
Yeah, probably that.
Okay. Sir Ellen responds. Sorry, Lady Ellen. I have a small overskirt that I have in the in my bedchambers.
Yeah, very good, my lady. And Slater goes and quickly grabs it and comes back.
Yep. Meanwhile, you, Squire Nigel, you've been taken out by an individual known as Lady... hey, chat, give me a name. Put a name in chat. This is the lady who is in charge of the Lady-in-Waitings. A rather maternal and aged woman. She takes you out and, why'd you do that? Now you've covered yourself in wine. Do you know how long that's going to stain? Sorry, it wouldn't have been wine. It probably would have been like, ale or something, sorry. Listen, how about we go get you tied up, but I don't think we can put you back in the feast.
I don't elaborate. I just said I did what I did to protect the courts, and just walk off.
Nice. Now, as Squire Serena covers up the very very subtly hands Lady Ellen the overskirt. With that, the feast ends. Lord Roderick then stands. Now, can I please have Squires Eleanor, Nigel, Serena, and Theodred here in front of me?
So quickly moves into position.
Yep. Squire Warren as well, please. Squire Warren carefully cleans his face with a napkin, places it down, and saunters up to stand in line. Nigel, I assume you stand in line as well?
I stand a bit. Yeah, I suppose so. Sorry, because Nigel knows he's embarrassed. He knows he's supposed to be reprimanded to not raise suspicion. He just stands slightly to the side and just keeps his head lowered, knowing he most likely just threw his chance away.
Tonight, we have tested our squires 3 times. He calls out to the entire crowd, the entire household. This feast was the final challenge to determine if they can rise up and become part of the household completely. Earlier today, they have gone through and tested their horsemanship and striking skills. We have seen what they were like in combat during the skirmish at Haybrook. They have more than proved themselves enough to be standing here tonight. And tonight, we have tested their courtesy, because we do not wish to be embarrassed if they go to other foreign courts. He looks down at the five of you. Squire Warren, my nephew, you have passed, and you shall be a knight. Warren nods, as if he knew it would happen. Squires Thedred, Squires Eleanor, for your bravery on field, and your skill at arms, and your presence at the feast, you shall be knighted. Squires Serena, Squire Nigel, tonight we have tested you. You have encountered 3 tests tonight. That of serving your lord, answering a question, and protecting your lady. I am very proud of the 2 of you. You have passed the tests. You 2 both shall be knighted. With that, there's a thunderous applause within the hall as the household stands up as one and gives you an applause. Lady Ellen begins. The last test was, of course, the hardest. But Squires Nigel and Serena, you have proved that you're willing to sacrifice your own honor for mine. And with that, I am grateful and proud to call you members of the Salisbury household. All of you, kneel.
Celine gets down to kneel.
I have a little bit of slight bit of surprise in my eye as I also kneel, and you can chop to turn and then, of course that was on purpose. Why would they risk? Of course, kind of just went in my head. Of course that was on purpose. Why did I not think of that?
Lord Roderick draws his sword as he moves around the table and stands in front of the 5 of you. He looks at Squire Warren in the eye, taps him on the shoulder, slaps him across the face. Let this be the last strike you take unchallenged. Rise, Knight of Salisbury. Sir Warren. Warren stands, a red mark upon his face, but a smile as well. He does the same to Squires Thedred, now Sir Thedred, and Squire Eleanor, now Dame Eleanor. He makes his way over to you as the next in line, Squire Serena. He touches your shoulder with the sword and slaps you across the face. It's a hard slap. Your face singes as he nods. Dame Serena, you may stand.
Selena gets to her feet.
moves over to you, Nigel, taps your shoulder with his sword, slaps you across the face. Stand, Sir Nigel.
I will stand.
The court of Salisbury, I, Lord Roderick, introduce the new knights of Salisbury. Once again, the entire hall erupts in cheers and congratulations. From a corner, Sir Amig appears out with several other notable knights. To each one of you, he gives you a set of spurs, as well as a longsword. As my new household knights, he says, in the next couple of days, we shall travel to the King's Court in Leicestershire. You 5 shall join me, of course. With that, the feast is over for you. You may come and sit at the table. He gestures to the long table that runs down the center of the hall. Not the high table, mind you, but the table where a lot of the household knights and courtiers and ladies would be sitting. You have finally been invited to dine with the rest of the household here at Sarum. And as you eat and drink the night, their new knights of Salisbury, we shall call it an evening. How are you going tonight?
I enjoyed it.
How are we feeling?
Good.
That's good. Now, at the end of the game, I typically do a round table, which means I talk to the players. I ask them what their favorite part of the game was, as well as chat if you have any questions. It's great to see you back, Tater. It's not a metal hand. He wasn't wearing metal gauntlets. It was his bare hand. It's not a full backhand with metal plating swinging across the face, breaking jaws sort of thing. It's more of a the story goes is that a lord would slap their knight as a mark to let them know that they served the lord, and let that be the last strike that you cannot hit back for. Any other strike that takes place, you must retaliate. Well, that's how the story goes in any case. So, let us do the round table. We're going to start off with Sandpiper. How'd you go for tonight?
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Did you have any favourite parts?
Well, I'd have to say the whole operation distract everyone whilst the apple sauce got cleaned up was a bit of an escalation of what she was thinking. For Selene would have been what I was thinking, what Selene was suggesting, but it worked.
It did. And the Lady Ellen is very much impressed with your performance, Sir Nigel.
Well, keep in mind, it's of course it's homage to the Lord, but there's extra pressure. He has to be concerned just as much as Lady Ellen as the Lord as well, because like we've mentioned, his sister is a lady in waiting, so him not protecting her does have direct consequences.
Yes. Now, as you have been knighted, as your glory in the year 485, please give yourselves 250 glory for this event, for being knighted.
So 250.
For now, I might change it. So wait for a second. Write down 250 on a piece of paper. I'll double check how much glory you get for being knighted.
1,000.
1,000 for being knighted. Thank you.
it's one of the few lifetime events that gives you 1,000.
Very well. Make sure you get 1,000 glory for being knighted for today, this year. And yes, you got to keep a knight humble. Catterton, Sir Nigel, how'd you go for tonight?
Alright, I think I did all right. It didn't help at the very beginning. I only actually heard part of the description of what the what the horsemanship course was because the auto just completely bugged out of my end, so I just had to roll with it.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You did very well though. What was your favorite part? Did you have any favorite moments?
Oh, of course it was. I think part of it was just the decision in my head that dropping a spoon would not be a good enough distraction, and without pumping just one, I was part of it. But part of it was actually the discussion with the clergy.
Yep. Yep, I agree. That was pretty cool. For me, tonight was a lot more role play oriented. I think that's what this kind of game angles towards. It seems to be more of a role playing game than a combat game, which is all right, which is pretty good. I do enjoy role play. I enjoy role play immensely. And I'm really looking, because this is a system I've been wanting to play since PAX, so I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm finally able to stream it and play it with you guys, and I'm really happy for it. So thank you for joining me for tonight. Alright. So whilst I try to find someone to raid, I think I should all do like the self-promo stuff, shouldn't I? Yeah, probably a good idea. So, for example, hello everyone. I'm Matt, here at All Things Fantasy. The place you can usually find me is here on Twitch, and if not, you can probably find me here at Discord. I believe I know my own fantasy. I think I know my own commands. Aha! I know my own commands. So if you want to keep up to date and see what I'm up to, make sure you head on over to the Discord. Then you can keep up to date with all the things. You can have a chat with me. You can have a chat with players. I also have room for one more player in this game. So if you're free in about the hour, you are more than welcome to send me a message and go, "Oi, Matt, want to play?" And I'll be like, "Are you sure?" And he'll be like, "Yes, I can do it." And I'll be like, I have to test you." And they'll be like, "Oh," and I'll be like, "It's fine, you pass, I'll find out." Yes. So if you're interested, you are more than welcome to send me a message. Make sure you also head on over to the Jasmine's Dragons and Dice. Was it D and D, maybe? No. D and D? Is that it? Ha! Dragons and Dice. Make sure you, if you like scented candles and little dragon friends, you can always head up over. Yes, you did arrive just for the sign-off, Kajabi. Congratulations. Now, there's not a lot of people up and about tonight. Not a lot of Aussies. So let me see who's on the... So there's no one playing Pathfinder. Not a lot of people playing tabletop RPGs. Who's playing Dungeons and Dragons? Wait, who am I following? That might be a good option to check first. Robert Hartley's up and just doing stuff. Oh, Tabletop Obscura's up doing stuff. Yeah, let's go say hello to Tabletop Obscura. They're currently playing their Gatewalkers game, which is in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So let me get that raid up and happening. As we head on over, what do we do, my friends?
We release the bird.
Yeah.
Yes, let them know. You release all the birds. Let them know. And just, if you have access to the burb raid emotes, make sure you spam that in their chat. If not, any burb emotes will do. Or, yeah, Jazz has just come home from her market. So yes, if you have any burb emotes, make sure you spam that. If not, let them know to release the birds. And from everyone here at All Things Fantasy, from me to you, have fun, and we shall see you next time. Good night, my friends.